Hello everybody, Uome here, back again with another YouTube video on War Thunder. Today I wanted to talk a bit more about something a bit more controversial, let's say, than any of my previous ones. I don't know how controversial you class the mouse one about, and I am going to go ahead and apologise now for my last video, which was, I believe, about map rotations and that, and it had the thumbnail of the 2A5 going over the desert. I believe it was Sands of Sinai. I do apologise for the quality of it, though I am not going to remove it simply because I thought the voice was still there. That was all perfectly fine. You could still understand what I was saying and my point that I was trying to get across, which was the whole intended point of that video. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into a game now, a helicopter match, and then I'm going to get straight into my reasoning behind this video. So here we go. Right, so I'm going to spawn in straight away. I haven't got much to say about the maps for helicopters. I'm going to be talking here just at the beginning about arcade, or the enduring confrontation arcade. So I don't have much to say about the maps apart from they really need a bit more going on in them, unless they want to go a lot more abstract, a lot more out there with map design, which I don't see Gaijin doing because they've never done it before. I can't remember which map it was, but I remember watching a Fly Daily video a while back, and there was these amazing, actually, massive tall skyscrapers in that fly around. There were like alien skyscrapers in there, maps like that. But anyway, I'm not going to get too much into that. So the maps alone are okay. All they need in them is perhaps more convoys, more sort of ground things going on with more AI. So generally just more content, more dynamic situations going around for you to influence on the battlefield. Because helicopter and helicopter action in arcade, it isn't the best when it comes down to it, because helicopters in real life aren't really meant to fight each other. It doesn't feel right to fly them, and I think that's one of the main problems with the arcade enduring confrontation. Along with that, why is there no realistic enduring confrontation? I know there was a realistic version when it wasn't an enduring confrontation, I think it was just a normal, standard, realistic matching where you'd have to go and cap zones. Why don't we still have that in this game? That's what I don't understand. On top of this, I'm going to leave the arcade alone because that's the view that I haven't built as much up around. What I'm going to mainly talk about in this video is the realistic tank matches, which I know is a very controversial thing because I see a lot of people talking about very negatively towards helicopters and kind of ruining what they could be in a way, because I feel like if people keep this up, then helicopters are going to go down the toilet even further than they already are, and we're not helping helicopters in this game is what we're all saying. I've said it before because I get annoyed as well, but what I'm going to go ahead and say here now is, say you spawn in the match in your tank, your expensive tank, I don't know, 7,000 repair cost, top tier, say it's T64, you're in a mixed match, and then you get killed by a helicopter. I've done it myself, but you complain about it. And then the amount of people I've seen complaining on forums and things, complaining to me personally, about how helicopters are overpowered and how they should be removed from the game, and they shouldn't be in tank realistic battle, is absolutely ridiculous. Because they should. Because in real life... Sorry about that, I just had to go and do something. But where was I? Tank realistic battles. Oh yeah. If you get shot at and killed by an ATGM, which is generally what it is, nothing else really, not really dumbfire missiles or anything. Or say even if you do get killed by dumbfire missiles, any weaponry on a helicopter and the helicopter kills you, you shouldn't be complaining to Gaijin about it. Because in real life, that's what they're meant to do. And if your team is stupid enough to not spawn in an FPAA, then that's your fault. What do you think happens in real life? You don't... The army commander or whatever you want, I'm just saying army commander because it's simple. You can correct me if you want. I'm just trying to get my point across here. You don't go ahead and complain, oh no, hold on, no, that isn't fair. No, you can't have done that, we didn't have anything to counter it. War is never going to be fair, especially when we get into this modern era. If you're going to complain about something doing its job, which is what I see a lot of things in this game being complained about, everything's meant to be balanced, especially at top tier, you can't have that balance anymore at all. That balance will not be there, and it can't be there. Because you're going to see it especially with flying machines, such as planes, etc. But you just can't. You can't balance it at all. Really? Another problem that I do have is the helicopter spawns currently in aerialistic. Aerialistic? Tank realistic. I've had a few maps where I have spawned and known full well that I am in radar contact, because you have the radar symbol above your screen, which direction that the radar is coming from, and I'm shot down within the first 5 seconds of taking off. And then that just proves that they implemented SAM sites incorrectly. I'm not saying that SAM sites shouldn't be in the game, but on top of that, they haven't designed the maps correctly. They need to move the helicopter spawns behind defilades, behind hills, or move it all the way back to the airfield. But even then, I'm fairly certain there's probably some SAM sites which can reach that airfield. So then you've got the argument of, shouldn't you move their spawn all the way outside their range? Well, to a degree, yes. But then you also need defilade cover coming up to that. On top of this, if you take into account how badly helicopters actually do in this game, and my previous video, the one that was a bit laggy, and I have apologised for that, if you take into account the bigger map scale that I would like to be added to the game, helicopters could also do better than they currently are in the game. Because you could add, if they added in defilade cover occasionally, obviously it's not going to be make them impervious to SAM sites or anything, that's not what I'm saying here. But if you added in defilade cover around the map, for them to hide behind PPAL, whatever you want to call it, then they're going to do better, because the tanks are more spread out. The SAM sites aren't all clustered up, protecting every single vehicle equally, or within that sort of same bracket of equalness, if you will. That's what I'm going to call it here. Then helicopters are going to do better, because currently in the game, helicopters are so terrible at getting kills. You die more in them than you get kills. Occasionally you will see the match where you'll see someone suddenly get 8 kills in a helicopter. I've seen it myself. But that is down to stupidity of the enemy team, or your team, depending on which side the helicopter is on. Because that'll be they didn't have any SPAA out, and that helicopter was in the right place at the right time. Generally it will be AH-1Ds and Mi-24Vs, because they're the only ones that carry that amount of missiles. I'm not going to talk about BR changes and costs, because we haven't got a high enough BR count to complain about BR spread as such. Yes, there are issues currently with 9.7, 10.0, the fact that there's only small distances between these massively different helicopters, apart from the V, which I'm currently flying, which I think should have the 10.0 currently. Especially with this new update coming out, 1.91 with the British helicopters, we need a change in people's views towards them, and we also need a change in the maps, as well as new game modes for the helicopters individually fighting each other, because that is one of the big problems I'm having here. Helicopters feel a lot more like a mini-game than they do an actual game mode, and I don't know how many people are going to agree with me on that. You can comment down below as to whether you do agree with that, but that's my personal view of helicopters currently in this game. They feel very much like a mini-game, sidetrack from the main game, which I'm not disputing the fact that War Thunder is meant to be the tank game, or the plane game, or the ship game, and helicopters don't really have a place even in the title of the game. But they should really have their own place, if not to play with the planes, etc. Because a big problem that I run into, especially in simulation helicopter, is planes. You're instantly shot down, and you can't hear them. Along with that, a mechanic which I want to fix, personally, is why are helicopters louder than planes? Why do you hear the helicopter before you hear the plane? That's one thing that I will think, personally. Helicopters are not nearly as loud as jet aircraft. I don't know about propeller driven. I'd imagine helicopters would be louder. But that needs to get changed. In terms of everything implemented for a helicopter in a game sense, they've done a very good job of it. They've done a very good job of implementing everything into helicopters in a game sense. There's nothing game-breaking about the missiles. Flares work against them. The only thing that needs to be added is equality between countermeasures and actual armaments, which I think needs to be a section of. The difficulty is going to be, this is getting away from helicopters a bit more as well, the difficulty is going to be with planes, tanks, helicopters. If I can see them one day adding to tanks better thermal imaging, etc., different types of optics, higher zoom, the difference is going to be, or the difference is going to have to be, is there going to be a vehicle that doesn't have those new aspects versus a vehicle that does, or is it going to be completely sectioned off? Because I want them all completely sectioned off, personally. I would love to see them sectioned off, because there is no way that you can balance a vehicle at all if they have literally got such an inherent advantage as new types of optics such as thermal imaging. Because thermal imaging could be added to helicopters, planes, tanks, everything. And if you've got that fighting something that doesn't even know where it's coming from, much like how sometimes, and you've probably all experienced this if you own top tier, you get shot by a helicopter and you don't know where that helicopter is. It would be like that, but a lot more, and there'd be this limbo period you have to grind through, get through, before you can have these fancy new vehicles. And then that's going to be a whole other problem in itself that people are going to end up complaining about. So, gauging really, if they're going to do that, if they're going to do my idea, and they're going to go down that path, they need to add a lot of vehicles for every single nation to completely separate and have enough players playing that end of the spectrum and not getting down to vehicles which don't have those abilities, such as infrared, guided bombs, etc. Countermeasures on tanks, hard kill, soft kill, etc. Whatever you want to mention here, it all fits into that bracket. All of the cool little gadgets, gizmos, whatever you want to call it, they'll all have to be sectioned. I don't see a way that you can add them and then have that vehicle fight something that does not have them, because they are such an inherent advantage over every other single vehicle on the battlefield at that current time. So, all I'm asking, guys, is can we try and not complain about vehicles which are doing well in a match, killed you, killed your mates perhaps, killed a large portion of the team? Because at the end of the day, there's a reason behind it, because there wasn't a counter for it. That's what I'm trying to get at here. Don't complain about something just because it had that one match, and then you died a couple of times to it before improving place. On a one-time. Because helicopters are seen as something much like planes are for a few people, where they shouldn't be in tank matches. Because it's called a tank match, it's called Tank RB. And then you'd argue, well no, it's mixed match. No, it's tank realistic battle if you actually look at the matchmaking. But they should be there. Granted, there should be a tank realistic only, but we don't currently have that in the game. And if we remove helicopters from it, then what would be the point in them currently being in the game? What would be the point in their model, apart from playing horrible Enduring Confrontation Arcade, which is terrible, and I don't like it, but it's the only way to effectively trying to come out with like 70,000 RPM after every match, without premium account, without premium helicopter, etc. Right, well, anyway guys, that's all for me this episode, really. Video. Post down in the comments below as to what helicopter is your personal favourite if you own them, or which one you're looking forward to eventually getting, or which you own. Leave down in the comments below as well what you would like me to do next video, as I will be paying attention to currently every single comment, and I will always try to get back to every single comment. It just depends how big I do. Anyway, I will see you all in the next video. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. See you next time.